Hey guys, you're watching Let's Talk About Prepping. I'm Tyler, your host, and in this video we're going to talk about propane and propane accessories. Now a lot of you will probably know about the bulk to accessory adapter, which turns your 20-pound tank into a threading that lanterns or stoves can fit onto, and that's really handy. I've used that innumerable times. But something that's a little less common is the bulk to canister refill adapter. Now this is really handy for a lot of reasons because it allows you to reuse these small canisters rather than needing to buy new ones. You can get them from your friends who aren't willing to go through the hassle of doing this and refill them for yourself and build a little bit larger of a stockpile of propane storage. And in a few different situations, being able to refill these and trade them or anything like that could be a pretty handy little ability to have. So what this is just a little threading adapter that fits onto your bulk storage tank and adapts it to these so that you can refill them. I got mine at Harbor Freight. You can get them online at various places. So you're going to want to follow the instructions that come with it. But essentially what you're doing is threading it into your tank. Now the instructions suggest to chill this to help you achieve maximum pressure. And that may be a good idea, but in a few situations, you may not find that very easy. So we're going to go ahead and talk about a couple different ways to do this. We can do a high efficiency way in which we're trying to lose as little propane as possible, which could be handy in a few different situations. We're also going to talk about a way to avoid chilling it, but still getting some decent results when it comes to maximum pressure in there. Now I went ahead and use these little pliers to push the pin in the top of my small canister and release the rest of the low pressure propane that's in there. So what I have is an empty canister there, and I have this set up this way so that any low pressure bubble is at the top, so I've got pure liquid propane going into my small canister. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is let it flow. Now at this point, you'll just let it sit till you can't hear it hissing anymore. Now I'm sure you can't, but I can still hear a very little bit of liquid flow going on in there. So I'm going to continue to let it sit even after I can't hear it anymore to let the liquid pressure equalize. Alright, so at this point, your canister is pretty much as full as you could want it to be. And if you want to lose as little propane as possible, you're going to pretty much just leave it there. In fact, you will never have bled it in the very first place, because what you're going to do is accept a slightly lower original carrying capacity in order to avoid losing any propane to any bleeding processes. But at this point, what I've done is I've sealed my canister up pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and loosen it here. And there is a little bit of loss as you pull it off because of what's between these. Apparently that pin keeps this one depressed a little bit as I'm pulling it off. Now at this point, if you really wanted to maximize your pressure in the canister, you could let it set like this so that all of your liquid propane is settled to the bottom and do a little bit of bleeding. Now at this point, your canister is going to be quite cold, and so you probably want to handle it using gloves. And as you can see, now I am getting liquid propane as soon as I try to vent anything. So that lets me know my canister is very full. You can't hear any shaking. So that is a very full canister of propane. But as you can see, there was a little bit of loss along the way, which in a few different situations may not be very acceptable. So anyways, it is a handy little thing to have. I've got like 20 of these things. You can get them from people who do irrigation, plumbing, or drugs, construction, just different things like that. So if you know friends who go through these, get them from them. Be sure to lubricate the tip. I'll put in the description box down below what is a good oil to do that with that won't interfere with your propane, so that this doesn't rust. You can keep it nice, keep these good and full, expand your propane storage, and give you a few different options with it. Anyways, I hope that was interesting. Hope it's value to some of you guys. Hope you're doing well. Everybody stay safe out there.